When Caitlin Clark turned down Unrivaled's colossal offer, it wasn't just a rejection, it was a spectacle. There's something uniquely compelling about a figure like Caitlin Clark, whose meteoric rise and unparalleled talent have captivated millions. It's not every day that someone in her shoes flips the script on a big name like Unrivaled. But then again, Clark has always done things her own way. But before we proceed further, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. Unrivaled, known for its high-stakes deals and aggressive pursuit of top-tier talent, isn't exactly a pushover in the sports industry. They've secured deals with some of the biggest names across various sports, from veteran athletes to rookies with something to prove. Their goal has always been to gather a lineup that screams success, prestige, and of course, money. So when Caitlin Clark, college basketball's undeniable powerhouse, turned down their lucrative offer, the shockwaves were hard to ignore. The build-up to this moment was like watching a heavyweight fight, but instead of punches, it was offers, meetings, and strategies flying around. Clark's on-court accuracy from the three-point line and court vision turned heads before she even hit college. When she joined the Iowa Hawkeyes, she quickly became the crown jewel of women's college basketball. Leading the nation in scoring and breaking records left and right, Clark had all eyes on her: fans, critics, brands, and of course, Unrivaled. The pitch meetings with Unrivaled weren't exactly covert missions. It was clear to everyone that Clark was a prime target. With her talent, appeal, and marketability, she wasn't just an athlete, she was a walking brand. Unrivaled recognized that and rolled out an offer laced with hefty incentives, endorsements, and a promise of branding opportunities beyond the court. There were rumors of a figure so high that even seasoned athletes would have raised an eyebrow. Unrivaled wanted Clark as the face of their next big marketing push, a role that many in her position would have jumped at. But not Caitlin. Sources close to the negotiations described Unrivaled's executives as being particularly animated. Animated, in this case, is a polite way of saying they were running around like headless chickens, shouting into phones and pacing boardrooms. The word unrivaled must have felt ironic, as they frantically tried to convince Clark's camp to take the offer. They weren't used to hearing no, especially when offering what was rumored to be an 8-figure deal. One can only imagine the scene: a group of execs wearing sharp suits and slightly rumpled expressions, brainstorming how to sweeten an offer that already seemed unbeatable. In a move that left Unrivaled's top brass scratching their heads, Clark declined the offer without fanfare or fuss. According to insiders, it wasn't even a particularly tense meeting. Clark's team wasn't playing hardball or angling for a bigger slice of the pie. They were just resolute. The response was a polite but firm, "Thanks, but no thanks." And while Unrivaled was left to regroup, Clark went back to doing what she does best: playing ball, delivering highlight reel moments, and redefining what it means to be a young star with all the leverage. What made this rejection more interesting is what it said about Caitlin Clark and her priorities. In a world where athletes are often painted as either chasing fame or chasing rings, Clark seemed to be doing neither. She was creating her path, balancing college life with the growing pressures of stardom, and she wasn't about to let a lucrative deal dictate her next move. There's something refreshing about seeing someone who could easily be swayed by dollar signs choose a different route. It's as if she's already aware that her true value goes beyond a paycheck or a brand label. For Unrivaled, the rejection was a bitter pill. They were known for throwing their weight and wallets around to secure big names. Not only was Clark's refusal unexpected, but it also presented a unique challenge to Unrivaled's carefully curated strategy. They were used to playing on their terms, and now they found themselves facing a talent who wasn't buying into their hype literally. Behind closed doors, the reaction from Unrivaled was the stuff of satire. Imagine the most high-stakes brainstorming session you could think of, but with a touch of dramatic flair. The pitch decks were pristine, the numbers meticulously crunched, and the slogans polished to perfection. Still, none of that mattered. You could almost hear the executives muttering, "She turned that down." With the kind of disbelief that only comes from being blindsided, it was like watching a magic trick fail at the crucial moment, leaving everyone scrambling to figure out what went wrong. As the story leaked, the sports world was abuzz. Caitlin Clark's decision wasn't just about turning down a massive deal. It was about reshaping the narrative around athletes and their choices. The old playbook said that a deal like Unrivaled's was supposed to be a no-brainer. But Clark had other ideas, and in doing so, she threw a wrench into the traditional script of sports marketing. In essence, Clark's rejection signaled a shift in how athletes are viewing their careers and brand partnerships. It wasn't just about the money or even the prestige of a particular offer. For Caitlin, it seemed to be about something deeper. Whether it was maintaining authenticity, keeping her focus on the game or simply holding out for a more meaningful opportunity. She was making decisions on her terms, and that's a rare thing to see at any level, let alone for someone so young and in the prime of their college career. Unrivaled, meanwhile, found itself in uncharted waters. Used to steering the ship, they were now dealing with an athlete who wasn't impressed by their usual tactics. To their credit, they didn't lash out or try to spin the rejection into some sort of PR win. At least not publicly. But you can bet they were back in their headquarters, licking their wounds and rethinking their approach. Unrivaled had banked on the idea that every athlete has a price and that they could find Clark's. That plan didn't pan out. The story is a testament to the changing dynamics between athletes and brands. Athletes today are savvier, more in tune with their public perception, and increasingly willing to hold out for what they feel aligns with their vision. Caitlin Clark's refusal of Unrivaled's offer wasn't just a shock to the sports world. It was a wake-up call to brands relying on big numbers to woo their targets. Athletes aren't just endorsements or walking advertisements anymore. They're creators, decision-makers, and voices with a lot more influence than some might think. While Unrivaled is probably back at the drawing board, Caitlin Clark seems unfazed by the whole ordeal. True to form, she's continuing her upward trajectory, stacking up points, accolades, and admiration in equal measure. Her approach to the situation exemplifies a new breed of athletes who aren't interested in playing by old rules. They're rewriting them. So, while Unrivaled may have missed out on securing the next big thing in sports, the bigger story is that Caitlin Clark isn't missing a beat. Rejection is just another chapter in her career, and if her track record is anything to go by, it won't be the last time she turns heads, whether on the court or off it. Unrivaled may have walked away empty-handed, but Clark's star continues to rise, fueled not by deals or branding, but by something much harder to define: authenticity. It's a story that speaks volumes about the future of sports, where deals aren't just about money, but about purpose and fit. Caitlin Clark's decision to reject Unrivaled wasn't just an unexpected move. It was a bold statement about what matters most to her. She's playing her game on and off the court, and she's winning in ways that don't always show up on the scoreboard. Unrivaled may have lost this round, but Caitlin Clark isn't playing by their rules, and that's what makes her journey so compelling to watch. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content. We thrive on your feedback, so be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Until next time, keep discovering and stay tuned.